Hey guys, so today we're gonna talk about another simple repair which you can do at home with basic tools like a screwdriver, pry tool, and eventually some tweezers. Now what we're gonna do today, we're gonna change the DC jack, basically the charging port of a computer, which is a Lenovo Thinkpad Yoga 14. The customer brought it in the shop, saying that the battery it's occasionally charging, most of the time it's not charging. Somebody told him it might be the battery, somebody told him it might be the main board, and but nobody actually mentioned the DC jack. Why? Because probably that's the simplest part to replace in a computer and the cheapest repair. Now he brought it in, and upon inspecting the computer, I noticed the port, which looked a little bit funky, and I'm gonna show you what I'm actually talking about. So that's the Lenovo Thinkpad. Okay, I have it right here, Yoga 14. Okay, and when he brought the computer in, I looked at the charging port, and this is how the charging port on this computer is looking like. I don't know if you can clearly see it, but yeah, let's raise the camera a little bit, and okay, now right here inside, you see it's an empty space right here, right in that area. Now how that's supposed to be looking, that's supposed to be looking something like this. You see the little plastic inside that was missing, exposing the contents. So with that said, let's start to disassemble the computer. First, make sure that you order the part, that you have the part in hand. Many times it's better if you first open the computer up and take the serial number or the model number of the part you want to order, because as I mentioned in a previous video, even the same type of computers, they might use different parts, so you don't want to order something based on the model number of the computer and then figuring out that actually is the wrong part for you. Okay, then you'll have to ship it back, and so far and so forth. Now I'm going to show you how to open it up, how to order the correct part for it, and how to replace it. I just want to mention that this is a very easy repair. There are two types of DC jacks, basically two types of mounting the DC jack in a computer. So you have this type of DC jack, which is it's using a cable to connect to the main board, and there are other DC jacks which actually are soldered onto the main board, making that a much more complicated repair, which I would not recommend you guys to attempt it on your own. Now this is a motherboard. This one is not the one I'm talking about, but pretty much the port would be something like this guy. This is an audio jack, but you get the idea. You'll have to desolder all these connections and replace the port. Again, there's not a DC jack, so do not say, oh, you show me an audio port and that has got nothing to do with the repair we're gonna do it today. So anyways, let's make this story short. Start to disassemble. All you need to disassemble this computer, it's just a Phillips screwdriver, and as you see on the bottom, this computer has some, let me just arrange my lights. Okay, make this as clear as possible for you with this shitty camera that I have. That's something I'm planning to upgrade in the future, but so far it should do it. Now, first thing I want to mention before disassembling this computer, the ThinkPad, the Yoga 14, it has a pen. I would recommend you to pull it out, because removing the back plate with the pen in might be a little bit tricky. Now on the bottom of the plate you have see, 3 little rubber, I don't even know how to call them, rubbery things which are covering the hole where the screw is. Now do not start to remove the actual legs. No, do not. It's just these 3, 1, 2 and 3. After you remove it, try to put it somewhere with the glue sticking out, so you avoid the possibility of debris getting glued on the glue part and then not being able to properly sit it onto the laptop. Okay, now with those legs removed, we're going to go ahead and remove the screws. Now there's nothing I can tell you about how to remove the screws, as it's a pretty self-explanatory job. Okay. We're gonna do this. Meanwhile, let me just move. Okay. Now some of the screws are going to come off from the bottom case. Some will stay caught on the bottom case. That's absolutely normal. Don't try to pull out the screws which are not coming out easily after you unscrew them. Now, with all the screws removed, you can use your pry tool, any kind of pry tool, or you can even use your nails to gently pry off the back. Let's say right here, right under the bezel. Now you'll hear some faint pops. That means the plastic mechanism is releasing the bottom case. And okay, with the back removed, see, that's what I was talking about on the right hand side where the pen was. If this would be in, it would make it, there is a little bit wedge right here which would be hard to remove, right there, which would be very hard to remove if this would be in, so you might actually damage the pen. So back to the repair. Sorry for the interruption, the phone call I had to take. So as I was saying, watch this little edge right there, as see, it's right here. Okay, now we remove the back case of this computer, and this is how it actually looks inside. Okay, no need to go through what is what on the main board. Just want to mention, I just want to show you another simple repair. I'm not going to attempt it right now, but this is a battery removal, so you'll follow the same steps as I did in order to remove the DC jack. This is your battery, which has actually 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll remove the battery. The connector will pop right up. I'm gonna show you right now. That's the battery connector right here, which this one, it comes off by lifting the actual connector. Okay, and it might look easier than it is. Just have patience when you remove that. Do not try not to short any of the contacts of the battery while you do that. So try to use a plastic pry tool rather than a metallic one, and that's it. The battery is off. You'll need to do that when I recommend to remove the battery when you work on your computer, regardless of what you do on the main board, to avoid any possible short circuits. Same way you can upgrade the RAM in the same computer. You'll have the RAM right here, you'll pop it up and then you replace it with the RAM of your choice. Now note that this computer only has 1 slot of RAM where you can put the RAM. Most of the computers will have 2 or more, 4 in the case of gaming computers. This one only has 1. So this being a DDR3, the maximum you can go, it's an 8 gigabytes. I mean, you can get a 16, but that's gonna be very expensive, and I'm not sure that this computer will support a 16. You can also add an M.2 SATA drive right here, which will make your computer, this one has a regular SATA drive, this one will make it pretty much faster, much faster than even a solid state drive, a SATA solid state drive. But anyways, let's get back to where we were in replacing the DC jack. So as you see here, the DC jack has, it is just 1 second. Okay, that's better. So the DC jack, it's secured onto the main board by this metal plate. We'll have to remove that. There are 4 screws. 1, 2. Now you note on the outside, the first screw, which is actually also holding the hinge, it is a longer screw, and the other one, it is a shorter one. So do not try to put the long screw here, as you might push it into the keyboard and damage the keyboard. Okay. We will remove the back plate just like so, and now we're getting to the DC jack. Now what I want to show you, when you order, if let's say you open the computer just to order the part, right here on this little you have a model number on this DC adapter. You have a model number, which is cable FRU. Usually Lenovo has a FRU number, so how you can order parts. So you'll take that FRU, in this case is 00UP124, put it in a search engine. You can use Google, you can use Amazon to see if somebody sells it on Amazon directly, or eBay. I got mine on eBay. It was around $9. Now with this removed, you'll push. See, you have 2 little tabs. Zoom it in a little bit so you see what I'm doing. So this is the DC jack. You'll use 1 or 2 tools to actually pull it out from its socket, right there and right there. Okay, slowly. Try not to pull on the wires themselves, especially if this is good, but on this case I will do that, because even if it breaks, I don't really care about it. Now let's just put them head-to-head comparison of the 2 chargers. You'll see one is bad, one is good. Now you see the difference. Okay, this is the good one. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. That's so crazy. Okay, that's the good one, that's the bad one. So we'll take the good cable, we'll plug it in. Okay, just like so. You'll push it in. Okay, we will put this. It has a little place where it actually goes. You see, this DC jack, it has a little edge to it right there, so that will have to fit nicely inside. And now we're gonna reattach the back plate. Okay, gonna put the screws. Remember, the long screw goes first. I mean, it goes where the hinge is, right there. Let me move the camera away because it's on my way. Okay, this is nothing technical, so you can figure out how to put the screws back by yourself. Okay. Now we will reattach the battery. So you'll align the connector of the battery with the connector on the main board. just like so, and then you will just basically push on it, push it downwards, and okay, and it should go inside just like so. It should make a click once it's securely in. It is not moving. The battery is safely in the computer. Now we're gonna reattach the back. Now if you wanna save yourself some trouble, that's something I learned over time. First try the part, make sure it's working before you reassemble the computer. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're gonna take the charger, plug it in, and then let's see if this computer does charge. It had a completely dead battery when it came in. Now as you see right here, you have the light. Let's see this light, so that shows me that the battery does charge. So pretty much the charger that I purchased, the DC jack that I purchased, it is good. Sometimes you will receive a bad component. It does not happen very often, but sometimes it does. So that's why you want to make sure that it is working before you assemble the computer. Okay, so with that said, let's get to it and reassemble the computer. Okay, make sure you disconnect the charger before you do that. And now the reassembly, it's pretty easy. Now remember, you can't put it straight, so remember where the pan was, put that side in first. So put the right hand side first, just like so, at a little bit of an angle. You press it down. You'll have to hear the clicks. It means that it is securely on. And now we're gonna reattach the screws. 1, 2, 3. Now you see, that's the reason some of the screws, they don't come out, so it makes the screws harder to lose, to misplace, or to use a different size screws, which can damage the computer. And second of all, I guess to make your life easier, because I don't have to go look for the screw, take it, set it in my screwdriver, and then reattach it. Okay, so this computer was missing one of the screws. Okay.
Breakfast is served.
Sorry, a little interruption right there. I'm back here, so let's continue. We're gonna reattach the little plastic thingies. We're gonna put it on the bottom. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. I should really think about getting a different mat, as this is black. Most of the computers nowadays are black, and it's gonna make it harder for you guys to see. Something, I'll put it on my to-do list. Now examine the sides of the computer, make sure that it is nicely put together. Okay, and that's about it. We have fixed the issue with the charging problem of the computer. As you see, it does start. Lenovo. Now let's see, let's plug it in, because as I said, the battery was pretty much dead when it arrived. Let's see. Okay, now I'm going to show you that the battery does actually charge. I don't know if you can see the symbol right there, meaning battery is charging. Okay, if I unplug it, you see that little symbol is just gonna disappear. This guy has an X on the battery because the battery is also damaged, but that's a completely different issue. Okay, so with that said, I hope you guys will be able to, if should you attempt to fix your computer, it would be a successful job. If I helped you out in any way, please comment, like, or subscribe to my channel. Till next time, have a good one.